Hi everyone, I have another equation here to solve, and this one it has parentheses that we need to get rid of before we can do anything else. So to get rid of these parentheses, we're going to use the distributive property, which just means we're going to take the number that's on the outside of the parentheses, in this case 25, and we're going to multiply it all the way through the parentheses, distribute it all the way through. And we'll do the same thing on this side with the 5. Now when we do that, we get 25 times y is 25y, and then plus 25 times 3 is 75. On this side, we do 5 times 3y, and we get 15y, plus 5 times 5 is 25. And we'll see one in a minute what happens if there's a negative on the outside of the parentheses. Alright, well, the next thing we want to do is, since there are no like terms to combine on either side, then we want to now try to get all of the y terms on the left or the right. And it doesn't matter, but I have 25 of them over here and 15 of them over here. So let's put the y's on whichever side has the most, which means I'm going to want to move this 15y over to this side. I'm going to do that by subtracting 15y from both sides, because this is a positive 15, so if I subtract it, it goes away. Well, 25y minus 15y is 10y. Bring down that plus 75 is equal to, well, the 15y's cancel. That's the whole reason we did that. So we're left with just 25. All right, I got all the y's on the left, but I want to get the y term by itself, so I got to get rid of this 75. I'm going to move him to the other side by subtracting 75 from both sides. We do that, we get just 10y here. 75's cancel. And we got 25 minus 75, which is a negative 50. Alright, one last step. This is 10 times y, and I want just y by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by 10. Well, here the 10's cancel. Over here, negative 50 divided by 10 is a negative 5. So the solution is y is equal to a negative 5. Now the next equation is a little bit messier looking. Whoops, it's even off the screen, it's so big. Yes, let's see, this is a little better. Alright, it's a big equation. It's got lots of parentheses and negative signs, so let's just take it one step at a time. We've got to first get rid of the parentheses. Here I've got a positive 11 in front of the parentheses. I'm going to distribute that through to get 11x plus 44. Now this time I've got a negative 3 in front. That sign has to go through the parentheses with the 3. So when I do this distributive property, what I'm really doing is a negative 3 times x, which is negative 3x, and a negative 3 times a negative 4. Well, a negative times a negative is a positive 12. On this other side of the equation, here I've got just a positive 3 going through the parentheses. So I get 3x, and then 3 times a negative 1 is a positive 3 times a negative 1, which is a negative 3. And then here, this 4, it's a positive 4. It's going to distribute through the parentheses. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times a negative 4 is a negative 16. Well, all the parentheses are gone, but we have a lot of like terms that we can collect on both sides. So, for example, this 11x and this negative 3x can be combined. They're like terms, and they live on the same side of the equation. Any x terms or constants that live on the same side of the equation, we just want to combine them together. And remember, you keep the sign with the term. So 11x minus 3x gives us 8x. You can do the same thing with the constants here. I've got a 44 and a 12. They're both positive. So 44 plus 12 gives us 56. Alright, that simplifies the left side. Let's see what we got on the right side. We've got a 3x and we've got a 4x. They're both positive. So we combine those. 3x and a 4x is a 7x. And our constants, we've got a negative 3 and a negative 16. When you combine those two, they're both negative, so negative 3 minus 16 gives us a negative 19. Alright, so we're almost getting there here. We've simplified the left and the right side. I want to get all the x's on the left or the right. I'm going to move them to the left since I've got more of them over here. So subtract 7x from both sides. 8x minus 7x is 1x. That's good news. There's no coefficient there, so it's a 1. Plus 56 comes down is equal to, the 7x's cancel. Bring down the minus 19. Got to watch all these negative signs. Alright, one more step. X plus 56, I don't want that, I just want the x. So I'm going to subtract 56 from both sides. So the 56's cancel each other out, so we have x by itself now. Negative 19 minus 56. They're both negative, they have the same sign. So think about when you subtract numbers. When the signs are the same. When the signs are the same, you just add the two together and you keep the negative sign. So let's see, 9 and 6 is 15, 5 and 1 is 6 and 1 is 7. So we get x is equal to a negative 75.